Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Programming with Pirai. Till now we have learned about variables to functions in Python, but now it is a most important topic called OOPS, object oriented programming. So this is the base to learn the data structures and algorithm in Python. So don't skip any of the videos in between or any of the minutes. See the full video and full playlist to understand the OOPS. I have done many researches on this OOPS and made this video, so don't skip it. It is too length, but still it is worth to watch it. So let's get started. Now the core concept of OOPS is class, objects, polymorphism, encapsulation, inheritance, data abstraction. Let us see one by one. In this entire video we will see about the class, objects, constructors, okay, and then a special method called a static method. Right, now see here what is mean by class. So see this definition. A class is a user defined blueprint or prototype from which objects are created. So class is a object factory, or it is a blueprint to create a multiple objects. So what is mean by objects? Objects are the instance of class. Okay, just see this example. First example, class example pause. So telling about the syntax of class. Class is a keyword and class name followed by colon, then indentation, and give the body of the class. Now to create an object for that class is so simple in Python. Object name is equal to class name of. Right, now inside that I have printed the obj. Okay, so the syntax is basic is this one. Okay, just a class name colon indentation and the body of the class. Then outside that we want to create the object, so object name is equal to class name and parenthesis. Okay, fine. Now when I am printing this obj, see here the output is main dot example object at some address, that is hexadecimal address. Okay, this x represent the hexadecimal address. So this represent that inside that main I have an object of the class example at some hexadecimal address. Right, now second, in class we have a data members and member functions. Now let us see the data members. See here, class example a is equal to 10. So this a is equal to 10, that a will be the class member, that is a data member. Okay, it belongs to the class. Fine. Now obj is equal to example of. Now what I have done is I have created an object obj which is equal to example of, that is a syntax. So I have created an obj. How to access that a? We can access that a by using that object. Now comes the role of the object. How can we access that class members and class functions? By using that object. Right, so see here I am using that object name to access the data member by using the dot operator. This represented, the object represents the class, okay, at that instance, at some instance. So inside that class I have a variable called a. Just take that variable, just access that variable. So that is the meaning of this line. Okay, clear? And output is 10. What if I put just a print a? It throws some error. Why? Because a belongs to only class, not for all over the program. Fine. So this, you should be careful with the data members. So obj dot a. Okay, fine. Now an important topic is called constructor. We may see some notes about constructor. Constructor or the special methods. Okay, automatically executed while creating the object. Whenever we create an object, constructor will be automatically executed. So this is the second point. Used to assign values to the object's member. That is, a class member can be assigned or initialized a variable, a value while creating that object. Okay, so let us see that example so that you will be clear. Just see here. This is a constructor, and inside this constructor, I haven't wrote any variable or anything, just a constructor. In Python, we will use underscore init and underscore to represent the constructor, not unlike the other programming languages like in C++ and Java, we use the class name as the same name for a constructor, right? So in this Python, we don't use the class name, we just use the init function. Okay, this is a special method. Function is name when we give for function outside that classes. Okay, whenever a function inside a class, it should be called method or member function. Okay, so that only I am calling this as method, not function. Okay, clear? Whenever a function is inside a class, we should call it as a method. Now, this is the syntax. Def init of some variable and colon inside that body of the constructor. Fine. Now, I am creating an obj is equal to example of, and then it will create an object class example for the class example, and then executing this method, that is a constructor. Then whenever I have already told you that whenever we are creating an object, the constructor is automatically invoked. So inside class, it will print the ID of this self variable, and outside that class, I have printing that main ID of obj. See here, inside class some ID, there is some address, and outside class in main I have some address. Is it both address are same? Yes, yes. So here I can conclude that the object obj and the self are equal or same. So whenever we are creating an object, we directly pass the object as an argument inside that constructor or inside that class, right? So that we are using this parameter self to get the object address. Okay, fine. Now see the second example. I have used var as a variable. Many people I have saw that they are doing a silly mistake like the self is a keyword. No. The self is a variable which stores the address of the object. That's it. Okay, so whether we are using v, a, var, anything, it is just a variable which is used to store the object address. Okay, it represents that, hey, this object only invoked me, and it is a reference of that object. Fine. So see here, when I am using var, it also executed successfully, and ID of object and ID of var are equal. Fine. Now see this example, class example, def init of self comma a. I have passed extra one variable, okay, as an parameter. Now self dot num is equal to a. So self dot num represent that class member. Okay, that class member. So why I am saying that it is a class member? Because the self keyword denotes that this class, the current class, and this dot operator represent a reference of that class, and num represent the variable. So altogether it represents that it is a data member. So data member is equal to a. Now I have created a data member num which stores an argument that is passed by the constructor, that is passed to the constructor inside that a. Now the output will be 10. Okay, that is this num contains 10, so that the output will be 10. See here, 10. What if I print this A? Error. Why? Because it is simple. I just wrote A inside a class, so I cannot access this class. Sorry, I cannot access this variable. It is neither a data member nor the global variable, so I cannot access this variable, right? Now, constructor is init, not class name. As I told already, constructor is represented by using the init keyword, not using the class name, unlike the other languages like C++ and Java. Okay, just see here, class example, def example of self, print, it is just a member function, not a constructor, right? Obj is equal to example of, just I am running. As we know, whenever the object is created, constructor should be executed, right? But here this method isn't executed. Why? Because it is not a constructor. Okay, we should explicitly call that value. See here, sorry, call that method. See here, obj dot example of, this is the line which is used to call the function. Now let us execute. See here, so hence I have proved that the constructor is init keyword, not class name, right? Now let us see the real-time example of this constructor. Constructor is basically used in initialization of some values to the object members. Okay, that is the instance of that class. Now just see here, class dog, def init of self dot breed is equal to German Shepherd, self dot color is equal to white, self dot age is equal to 6. German Shepherd is equal to dog of. So German Shepherd is a object and dog is a class. So I am creating an object called German Shepherd for the dog class. This is the first point, right? Next, how my class will be there in the memory? Just in pictorial form, just I write here. Say this is the class, this is the class. Just see here, this is the class. Now, what is the name of the class? It is dog, and inside that there are three data member: breed, color, age. So it is dog. There are 3 data members: breed, color, and age. These are the data members. So I have creating an object. Called German Shepherd. Fine. Now, when I am creating this object, automatically the constructor gets executed, right? Now, the breed will be German Shepherd, color will be white, and age will be 6. Breed is German Shepherd, color will be white, age will be 6. When I am calling German Shepherd dot breed, what will the output? It just access this German Shepherd. Same German Shepherd dot color, what will be accessed? This white. Same German Shepherd dot age, what will be accessed? 6, right? So this is clear. See here, same that this is the output. Fine, just run it. Fine. Now next example, we can call a member function in two ways. One is by using a class and another one is by using the object. Just see here, class example def greet of self, print self address is equal to id of self. So inside that class example, I have a function called greet. Inside that, I am just printing the id of self. Now obj is equal to example of. I have created an object called obj. Now example dot greet of obj. Example is a class. Dot greet is the function, that is member function of obj is the object. So this is the method 1 to invoke or access the function. Okay, just I run it. Yeah, there is no error, right? There's no error. Now this is the second method, a normal method. Maximum we will use this object name dot member function name. Fine, it works fine. So these are the two methods. Just know about this, but whenever you are using, just use this method. It is super easy. Okay, multiple class reference. I have already told you that the what is the meaning of that reference, right? That reference is I have told that many people are doing the common mistake, like they are using a keyword called self. That is not a true. A truth is whatever a variable we use, it will be the reference. See here, class example def init of var. Inside that print constructor id of var. Fine. Def get value comma name. Print name comma id of val. See here, here I have a one reference. Here I have a another reference. This both name are different, but they point to the same address. This is the point I want to prove. Fine. Object is equal to class name of object dot get of Pirai. Now when this object is created, constructor gets executed, id of var, so constructor and some id. Now when obj dot get of Pirai is executed, this member function gets executed. So name comma id of val. So Pirai and some address. See here, both address are same. Both address are same. So hence I can prove that whether name of the variable is same or different, but it refers to the class alone, right? So this is the proof for that. But in practical, don't use this kind of variable names in different forms. Just use a standard variable so that we don't confuse in that class. Okay. Now, priority is for non-function members. Just see here, it is a super tricky concept. I have a class example. Inside that, I have a constructor and I have printed constructor and get self command name, and I have printed name. And apart from that both, I have print inside that class. Okay, obj is equal to example obj dot get of Pirai. Now whenever I created that object obj is equal to example of, what we think, whenever we are creating that object, first constructor will get executed, right? But see here, when I am creating an object, first this print statement is executed. Okay, this print statement is executed because it is not inside any data function, sorry, member function, right? So it is not inside this constructor, it is not inside this member function. So first priority is to what? Non-member function. Okay, so see here, the output is inside the class, then constructor, then Pirai. Fine. Now we can use member function name and variable name same. See here, class example, and a constructor. Inside that I printed constructor, and name. Inside that I have printed name. See here, this function, that is the member function's name, is name, and the variable name is also name. Okay, but it works fine. It works fine. There is no error. There is no error. Okay. In next example, we can try a further. Okay, like class name also name, function name also name, and maybe the variable name also name. Just see here. Just see here. Class name, def name. Inside that, I also have name variable. Whether it works fine? Yes, it works fine. But we have a doubt. How come this works fine? If we have two variable names same, it throws error, right? But how come this works fine? Because object, variable, function, these three are different. Accepted? These three are different. So the address of these three are different. Just see here. In this program, def name and name, I have printed the self, that is self address and the name address. Then outside that, obj is equal to name of, then print object is equal to id of obj, print function is equal to id of obj dot name of Pirai. So that function's name, function's address also printed, then id of name. Fine. Now when I am printing this represent to the class, this represent to the class, this represent to the function, this represent to the object, this represent to the variable. Now see here, all the address are different, right? All the address are different except that object and self. Okay, this is the observation we made. So whether we can use the same variable name, same function name and same class name, yes, we can use, because their addresses are different and they are represented in different forms. Okay, this is the observation made. Now see this example. I want to call a function inside a class. In more specific way, I want to call a member function. A member function inside a class. What is the procedure? Just see here. Class example, def init self, so constructor self dot add of 1 comma 3. Def add self comma a comma b, print a plus b. So object is equal to class name of. So when I created an object, this constructor is executed and self dot add of 1 comma 3. The self represent the object address. Okay, the self represent the object. It is a reference. So I am telling that inside that class execute this member function. That is the explanation of this line. Okay, so the answer will be 4. 1 plus 3, 4. If just assume I didn't give that self variable. Okay, before that add, what will be the output? It will be error, because it didn't know where that add function is. It didn't point to the reference of the class, but there is no add function. If I have any add functions in outside of the class, it works fine. Okay, this is the example for why we are using that reference. Fine. Now at last, static methods. Static methods can be used when we don't want to create an object, but we want to call the member function. We don't want to create the object, but I want to access the member function. How? We can use static methods. See here, this is called decorator. In upcoming videos, I will teach you what is mean by decorator means. Now, class matutils, inside that I'm using a decorator static method, and inside that def add of x comma y, return x plus y, and another function called multiply x comma y and return x into y. So these two are the static methods. Now, how to call these static methods? What is the procedure to call a member function? In basic, how to call a member function? Just object name dot member function of what are the parameters we will pass into the arguments. Same, but instead of that object, I will write class. So matutils dot add of 2 comma 3, right? 2 comma 3. Now the output will be 5. Matutils dot multiply of 2 comma 3, right? Now the output will be 6. That's all. So this is the use of the static method. So in static method, we don't want to create an object. We directly access the member function by using the class name. Okay, this is the overall view of the class and object. In upcoming videos, I will post some OOPS concept in full detailed manner. So don't miss out this playlist. So keep watching. Thank you.